ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2nd and verse number 17. So we were reading purport from this verse, and we read half of the purport. So till now we discussed Avinasi tu tad vidhi jena sarvamidam tatam vinasa vinasam abvejasyasya prashit kartu. That which pervades the entire body you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. The soul, which is present within the body at one particular location, it spreads its energy uh, in consciousness. It spreads its consciousness all over the body, because of which we are able to uh, perceive, or we are able to feel. So this, the nature of the soul has been explained till now. The soul, the size of the soul is very, very minute. But even though the soul is very insignificant, very minute, but its power is spread all over the body. But the Supreme Lord is also a soul, but Supreme Lord is Supreme Soul. He is unlimited soul, and we are limited minute particle soul. So minute particle soul has its consciousness is spread only over one particular its own body, limited consciousness. But the Supreme Lord's consciousness is spread all over the universe, all over the creation. Just as the sun. The sun is located in one particular part, corner of the universe, but its influence is spread all over the universe. Similarly, the soul is present at one corner of the body within the region of heart, but its consciousness is spread all over the body. But the Supreme Lord, He is just like this body. We are the soul for this body. So we can control, we can know, we can perceive pains and pleasures of this, our own particular body. The Supreme Lord is soul of the universe. That's why the soul of the universe is actually super soul. So he can perceive, he is conscious about uh, whatever is happening in the entire creation. So the size of the soul has been explained in श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषद के शाग्रशत भागस्य शतांश सदाश सादृशात्मकः जीवा सूक्ष्म स्वरूपोऽयं सांख्यातीतो हि चित्कणः. This is the measurement of the soul. And same change is explained in Mundak Upanishad also. We discussed this also yesterday. Eshanuratma chetasa viditavya. The soul is atomic in size, anuratma, and it can be perceived by perfect intelligence. The atomic soul is floating in five kinds of air. Dan, Apan, Vyan, Saman, and Udan and is situated within the heart and spreads its influence all over the body of the embodied living entity. When the soul is purified from the contamination of the five kinds of material air, its spiritual influence is exhibited. So the Hatha Yoga system or Dhyan Yoga system, Ashtanga Yoga system, is meant for controlling the five kinds of air encircling the pure soul by different kinds of sitting postures, not for any material profit, but for liberation of the minute soul from the entanglement of the material atmosphere. So this is the mechanical way of purifying the soul. The soul is surrounded by five kinds of impure airs. What is that impurity? That impurity is this uh, a desire for material sense enjoyment. That is impurity. So, this Hatha Yoga system, by controlling one's mind and senses and following the rules and regulations of different sitting postures and exercises, one tries to purify the air, these five kinds of air, which helps to uh, purify the mind. And in this way, gradually the yogi understands that he is not this body, he is the spirit soul. And it takes many, many, many thousands and thousands of years. So this mechanical process is a very lengthy process. But this is also one way. And after one following this Hatha Yoga, that's why its name is Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga means Hatha means Jidd, Jiddi. One becomes very, very hati. Yes, no, no. I want to purify my soul. And so that particular yogi, he abstains from all kinds of sense gratification activity. He does not indulge in any sense gratification activity. He completely controls the desires and vague forces of the mind and intelligence and senses, and then follows the principles of Hatha Yoga system, Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, all these things. And after many, many thousands of years, thus he gets purified. And in purified stage, he can, first of all, he understands that he is not body, he is spirit soul. Brahmaham Brahmasmi, he comes to this understanding. And then when he further progresses, then he also understands that I am different from the super soul. Super soul is also present within my body, and he is my boss, he is my master, I am his servant. This much understanding he gets, and when he comes to the complete perfectional stage of Hatha Yoga system. And then after that, he has to actually promote himself to Bhakti Yoga system. Then he has to come and associate with some pure devotee and learn more about who is this Paramatma, where from he has come in this material world, although he has nothing to do with this material sense gratification. Then he comes to know that this Paramatma is actually expansion of Lord Narayana, and Narayana is in Vaikuntha. He has many associates and so many activities. He has his name, fame, qualities, everything. And Narayana is also expansion of Lord Krishna. And then if he is interested, he is fortunate enough to get associated with some pure devotee of Krishna, then he can understand the transcendental name, fame, qualities of the Supreme Lord. And in this way, he may eventually become a devotee. And in that condition, he starts chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, of course, when a living entity or a person, when he goes through this mechanical way of system, it takes many, many thousands of years, and it may take many hundreds of lifetime. But if one goes through this process, so when he, as soon as he comes near association with some devotee, already his heart is completely purified. As soon as he starts chanting Hare Krishna, immediately he develops love for the Supreme Lord. So that is one thing. But for us, if this process is not recommended, because we don't have so much time, we don't have so much control over mind and senses, and we are not so self-disciplined, and nobody in this age of Kali is able to perform such great austerity. So our process, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very mercifully, he directly gave us association of devotees chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so which simultaneously does the two things. First of all, this chanting of Hare Krishna will purify the soul of all material contamination within short time, and then eventually this Hare Krishna Mahamantra will provide us complete pure love for Krishna. Both of these things are given as a gift by the chanting of Hare Krishna Mantra by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But anyway, this Hatha Yoga system is there. So the constitution of the atomic soul is admitted in all Vedic literatures, whether it's Bhakti Sastras, Yoga Sastras, Jnana Sastra, in all the Sastras. The constitutional position of atomic soul has been explained. And it is also actually felt in the practical experience of any sane man. Only the insane man can think of this atomic soul as all pervading Vishnu Tattva. So, atomic soul, the soul, our existence, soul is in atomic size. It is explained in all the Vedic literatures. And one can, using his own logic, reasoning, intelligence, one can understand that I am not equal to all pervading Vishnu Tattva, the supreme soul. Because anyone can understand, my consciousness is spread only over this particular limited body. So I am not at all equal to the Supreme Lord. The influence of the atomic soul can be spread all over a particular body, all over a particular body. According to the Mundak Upanishad, this atomic soul is situated in the heart of every living entity. And because the measurement of the atomic soul is beyond the power of appreciation of the material scientist, some of them asserted foolishly that there is no soul. According to Mundak Upanishad, and there are many other scriptures, Bhagavad Gita also explains that this atomic soul is situated within the heart of every living entity. And because the soul, the measurement of soul is very insignificant, and it is beyond the appreciation of material scientists. With no instrument, one can actually perceive, see, or measure uh, the soul. That's why some of the foolish material scientists they conclude that there is no soul. But even if we are unable to see the soul, perceive the soul, measure the soul within the heart, but still because its influence is there over spread over the body, so anybody can understand that there must be soul. It's very clear. Just like if suppose if there is a very expensive car, from outside one cannot see who is sitting within the car. It's not possible. So, but the car, when if the car is moving, so any sane person can understand that yes, somebody must be sitting behind the car. That's why a car is moving. Only a foolish child may conclude that just see the car is moving without the driver. That is foolishness. Similarly, this body, which is made up of material elements, it cannot work. It cannot produce consciousness. So simply this proof that uh, this consciousness is present within the body, that itself is a proof that there must be some driver. The soul must be there, although we are unable to see the soul. So this is called common sense logic. So the individual atomic soul is definitely there in the heart along with the super soul. And not only soul, but the super soul is also present. It is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Ishwara sarva bhutanam riddesha arjuna tishtati. Along with the living entities, within this region of heart, the Ishwara means super soul also resides. Uh, and but super soul has nothing to do with the bad or good result of the body. It is unaffected by the bodily circumstances. And thus, all the energies of bodily movement are emanating from this part of the body. The heart is the main source of energy. This even scientists they accept that the heart is main source of energy, main source of life. If anything may get damaged within the body, any organ may get damaged or may not function, uh, but still the person will be living, may live. But if the heart becomes dysfunction, if heart is not functioning, heart does not function, then immediately the person dies. Uh, that proves that the heart is the seat of the living particle known as soul. This is also another proof that the soul is situated within the region of heart. So, and thus all the energy, the corpuscles which carry the oxygen from the lungs gather energy from the soul. When the soul passes away from this position, the activity of the blood generating fusion ceases. Medical science accepts the importance of the red corpuscles, but it cannot ascertain that the source of energy is the soul. Medical science, however, does admit that the heart is the seat of all energies of the body. Such atomic particles of the spirit's whole are compared to the sunshine molecules. In the sunshine, there are innumerable radiant molecules. Similarly, the fragmental parts of the Supreme Lord are atomic sparks of the rays of the Supreme Lord, called by the name Prabha or superior energy. Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadandhanatha Koti Sashesh Vasudhadi Vibhuti Pinnam. That is explained in Brahma Samhita also. The Prabha of the Supreme Lord. This Brahma Jyoti, it's a prabha, effulgence of the Supreme Lord. And within the Brahma Jyoti, there are many spiritual sparks. And our constitutional position is we are one of the spiritual sparks. There are innumerable spiritual sparks within Brahma Jyoti. And one of them we are, uh, one living entity. Just like sun globe. Sun globe emanates. The effulgence of sun is molecular sunshine. So within each and every sun ray, there are unlimited sun rays which emanates every second from sun globe, and within each and every sun rays, there are unlimited molecular particles. Spark is fire sparks. Molecular particles are there, and so each of these molecular particle can be compared to the spirit soul, and sun globe can be compared to the body of the Supreme Lord, which emanates innumerable uh, spiritual sparks, and one of the spiritual spark particle, the living entities. And that is our position in comparison to the Supreme Lord. So whether one follows Vedic knowledge or modern science, one cannot deny the existence of the spirit soul in the body. And the science of soul is explicitly described in Bhagavad Gita by the personality of God. So from both angles, if one refers to Vedic knowledge, it's very clearly mentioned and explained that we are different from the body. The spirit soul is there in the region of heart. And if you follow the modern science, so all the modern science, they cannot show us the soul or measure the soul, but still the proofs, the researchers show that the heart is the main seat for the life. The life sits on within the heart. Uh, and as soon as that particular life leaves the heart, immediately heart stops supplying the energy, and immediately the body dies. There is no more living symptoms. So this is proved by medical science also. In both the ways, the conclusion is the same. The only thing is one has to use one's little bit intelligence to understand these facts. Somebody has not got that little bit intelligence, is very difficult to understand. Otherwise, very simple to understand. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask regarding the science of soul, which we discussed from last 3 days. Yes, constitutional position of the soul. You can ask. Hare Krishna. अपने साधना